If
Hello. Thank you, everyone, for joining our live today, where we're going to be raising awareness about breast implant illness and talking all things boobies. We have to make light about the situation.
yes.
But I'm so honored to have a dear friend of mine, Lola Bond. We met years ago. We've traveled through many phases of life, all to be here to really help other women who are either considering breast augmentation or might actually have breast implant illness and they don't even know about it, really to plant that seed. And really, this community is meant to be inspiring, uplifting, empowering, never shameful, because even if you decide that this message isn't for you right now and that you still want to get a surgery, we are here to support you through any phase of that. This is not a place for judgment. This is about education. And for me, I decided to become an advocate after I was suffering from BII. And I really felt that it was important because I noticed there was a lot of women who don't even know that it's a real thing.
Yeah.
And I had to get uncomfortable, just like I am today, because being live is definitely not the most comfortable thing for me. But it was really important enough for me to, we're talking about being comfortable in your skin. And this is a capacity of really expanding beyond my comfort zone um, to help others. And I think that's a very worthwhile process. So, Lola, I'd love to hear the first thing I thought we could dive into for anyone who is considering the surgery. Um, when you were in that space, what was the reason that you decided that you wanted to get the implants?
First, I want to say the reason why you and I are together right now doing this is because it was funny. I just mentioned it, and then you reached out, and it just brought us right together again as if we had seen each other 2 weeks ago. I'm really glad, and I'm very grateful for that, and I'm grateful that we could pick up like that. So I just wanted to say that, and I wanted to say thank you. Thank you for including me on your journey. And so I, we talked a little bit about this earlier, and I said that about 3 years ago, I began this path with plant medicine, and I would go down there and I would do my healing journey, and I would come back and I would feel really, really good. My body would feel incredible. And then slowly but surely, kind of just, I got worse. The inflammation would slowly come back. And it wasn't like my diet was pretty good. I was no longer drinking alcohol. I was no longer eating red meat, no pork, all this stuff that I was eliminating from my diet. You would think I would start to feel better more and more and more. But there was always this backslide. So I started to just I added some supplements to see what would happen if and what would happen if. And I obviously figured out that my adrenals were a mess. Hormonally, I was a mess. And that's what began researching about hormones and immune system and figuring out things that, could be attacking my immune system. So that's what began the journey. I had some neck surgery back in 2017, and there's still some degeneration going on, which is a common side effect of BII, neck, shoulder, and spine degeneration. So I don't want another neck surgery, so they had to go. Yeah,
How long did you have them?
12 years. It was actually almost 12 years to the month, to the day. I had it on 11th, and on the 11th of January, and this time was on the 21st of January, exactly 12 years. That's how close it was. It was crazy. It was like everything was just saying, this is the right thing to do. It's the right time. This is going to make you feel so much better. And it was, for me, it was a no brainer. Yeah.
So your research is what led you to the possibility of breast implant illness?
Yes. I
Okay.
was kind of in the beginning. I was kind of like, they didn't warn of this. I had that mentality because I was in the medical field. So I know that we can be swayed when we work on the other side, because Western medicine, we want to say that there's a pill for everything. We want to say that there's a procedure for everything. And there is for some things. But what I've learned over the past 3 years is that there's so much more before you get to that level. And we have been duped. We have been, information has been withheld, treatments have been withheld. There have been plant medicines on this planet for thousands, tens of thousands of years that have been used by indigenous tribes. And the beautiful thing is, they're coming out of the Amazon. These tribes are sharing these medicines. And this is what has led me to the knowing that it was time to release these from my body. They were serving me nothing good. And it was another way to claim another piece of my power back.
Amen, sister. I mean,
Mhm.
even for me, I avoided all of the things they were recommending, like my autoimmune disease and steroids.
Yeah,
Like, no, I want something natural. And I was able to find things that like pretty much removed the symptoms of that. And I just was pretty resistant to going down that road because it just kind of slaps a band-aid. It doesn't really fix the problem.
exactly. And plant medicine isn't a cure either. That's just a route that I've chosen. I spent 20 something years, once I got out of the military, being followed as a 100% disabled veteran. I was on 27 different psychotropics in 20 years. You name any bipolar medicine, I've tried it, been on it, anxiety, depression, sleeping, every pill you could think of, I've been on it. They nearly killed me with lithium because I'm allergic to salts in that sense, in that kind of a dose. Yeah. So every new medicine, it was a weight gain or it was a weight loss or it was some kind of taxing, it would send my body into metabolic syndrome. My blood sugars would go up, my blood pressure would go up. And now, 3 years on the plant medicine path, I'm off all pharmaceuticals for 3 years. I take no pills. I take supplements. I take no pills. And it's
Well,
not that I'm against Western medicine. I just think there's a proper time and a place for it. It's not a cure. Neither is plant medicine. Plant medicine is something that helps you heal.
right.
We're
And
on the
probably
common.
a lot of different ways, like emotionally and physically. It's got a lot of different, it's far reaching.
Yes. Well, we don't realize that most illness, it's called disease, and it comes from dis-ease in our bodies.
Right.
And we keep these emotions in our bodies and we push things down and we push things down and we push things down and we wonder why we just we blow.
Yeah. So tell me, when you did your research and came to the conclusion that it was your breast implants, how long did it take for you to make that final decision to book the surgery?
Probably 2 months.
That's awesome.
I knew. I had a ceremony in November at a place that I go to do plant medicine in Costa Rica named Rhythmia. Yes, I'm doing a little plant because they are freaking amazing. Um, they have saved my life, literally. The creator there, Jerry, and his staff, and just everybody involved in that place is magic. I'm just a believer that they are there for a reason, and I'm in on anything to help them get the masses through their doors. So
Amazing.
anyway, I had to plug them. So I came back from that ceremony in November and I did a lot of deep familial generational healing while I was there. And when I came back, I didn't, my body didn't feel well like it always did, and something wasn't right. And I was very, 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 I had like a big flare up of inflammation. My joints, my fingers were killing me all of a sudden. And I never feel that way from the medicine. And then I started to get a pain underneath my left breast. Every time I took a deep breath, because I do yoga and I was doing my deep breathing and meditation, I was getting this sharp pain under my left breast. And I was like, what the hell's going on? I went for my mammogram, nothing showed up, everything looked checked out, didn't have anything to report. So that's when I was referred to a friend to the Facebook groups that blew me away.
Absolutely.
How organized they are, how many women are on there, how long they've been on there. Holy crap. I mean, I don't remember the exact year, but it's not just been in the last year or two that this group was created. So it sent me down a spiral. I went down the rabbit hole of research.
Rabbit holes.
And yeah, for about a week and a half, I researched, and went down that list. And I had at least 22 symptoms on a recurring basis.
Yeah.
So it was a no-brainer. And then I had some stuff come up with my neck. I was getting shoulder freeze on my left shoulder. I went back to see my spinal guy, and he's like, listen, that vertebrae number 4, he's being taxed too much. And I was really starting to like hunch over from the weight of my breast. So, I put on a little extra love since getting married. When you're happy, you kind of just, you go out to eat a lot and whatever. But I wasn't comfortable. I was more, instead of being proud and having them out, I was trying to find ways to cover them up. And I was like, God, they're just everywhere. I can't get them out of my way, So I decided to, is that reverb on mine?
I don't know. It sounds like there might be going off. That might be in my house.
Okay.
Probably here. Sorry.
No, that's okay. It was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
How did you find the surgeon that you ended up selecting?
So I'm all about synchronicity, and I'm all about things come when they're supposed to. And I took a whim to see if the VA would cover any of my surgery. So I went in and I talked to one of the patient advocates there, and sure enough, they would pay for the removal of the explant, and then I had to pay for my reconstruction and lift. And I also did a nipple reduction as well at the time.
Okay.
I figured, since if I was downsizing, where that had gone didn't match the size that I was. So, and not everybody can afford that. And I pray that everybody that wants that will be able to do that. But I'm blessed, and I went ahead and I made them look how I wanted them to.
Maybe we need to start some sort of a fund where people
Sure.
donate for.
I would love to, sister. And I know a lot of people that would donate to this cause.
I mean, because that's definitely a decision I had to make as well, was the lift was coming with it, because, I was a B before and definitely not that today. And I don't think it would have ended up being that way without a lift.
Right.
So,
right.
But it would be great to be able to give that option to women who need it.
I mean, I'm reading some of the stories on the group, and I'm like, some of these women have been waiting 8 or 9 years and they can't afford it. And I'm just like, oh man, how can we fix this?
I know, because it is really a time thing.
Let's do it.
People ask, well, does everybody get it? And, I'm not a doctor. I can't give out medical advice, but what I can say is that I feel intuitively, based on my journey, that it's about how your body metabolizes the materials, how it breaks it down. I think it's eventually inevitable at some point that they're going to break down, because, well, they actually have an expiration date. They're not meant to last forever.
Most of the women on the group, how many years are they past on the date that they were
10 years.
Right. I went there are women that have had them in for 40 years.
No.
God bless. It makes me cringe, and I worry, and it just makes me think, what can we do? What can we do to get the education out there? What can we do to get the information out there so that we're making informed consent consensual decisions about the choices of the things that we're putting into our bodies. Look, we're all grown-ups. If you want the look and you want to do what you want to do, you're going to do it anyway. And who am I to judge you? I did it. I understand it. So I'm not here to ride anybody about their choices in either doing breast implants, Botox, blood implants. I don't care. Let your freak flag fly. I'm here to say, listen, you need to know all of it. You
Yep.
need to know the good, the bad, the ugly before you make the choice.
And there's a difference in hearing it than what's in the fine print. Because I think when you're sitting down at that table and you're saying, okay, I'm about ready to go under to have this surgery, who's really reading the fine print anyway? Even with those box warnings.
Well, then I'm gonna throw it one level at you, and I'm gonna say, are you asking yourself the right questions before you're doing that surgery?
Right.
Are you doing this surgery because you want someone else to see you in a different light? Are you doing this surgery because someone is saying you're not enough? Are you doing this surgery because you believe you're not enough? Because there's something at the root of that. Because we are all enough. We come into this plane enough.
Right.
We are pure love. We are pure light. And that's why we're here. We are here to share love and light. You look around right now, there's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of things are being unearthed. And this is just another thing that's being unearthed.
And this is a magical day to do that.
Oh, sister. So you want to raise some money. Today is the day to put that out there. Today is the day. And I know a lot of my friends are on here. So keep an eye out and we'll put up a fund. And this is something that's near and dear to our hearts.
Yes.
And it's something that's going to heal the divine feminine.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that women should support women more and give them compliments. And, don't be afraid to develop a true friendship and be vulnerable with each other and lift people up. Don't be afraid of power. Power is beautiful. It really is.
It's no longer about knocking off somebody else's tiara.
No.
It's about literally having the confidence to walk up to another queen, fix her tiara so it's on straight, turn around and walk out.
That's
like
right.
The queen that you are. Because it's just not working anymore the other way.
No.
This isn't working for our children and our children's children. This constant barrage of judgment does not work.
And comparison is another thing. I mean, and that's really big. And what we're talking about is, looking at celebrities or what we consider
beauty
perfection to be.
How about perfection is no thing?
It really is no thing. And that's why I say that I'm a recovering perfectionist. I'm trying to get away from that. That's, even going live or doing the videos and not being worried about being caught up on this one word because it's speaking from the heart.
Right.
Counts. And I don't want to get into that space, that same space that I was in the day that I decided to get the implants.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, so you're 5 weeks post-surgery, which by the way, you look amazing. So big testament to all the things that you were doing to prepare yourself.
Thank you.
So how was the recovery process?
It's not for the faint at heart. It's something it's a severe surgery. They're opening up 2 holes in your chest and you then have to recover from that trauma. There is literally stick your arms into your pits and this is your movement. That's where you can move your hands. Nothing, you can't do that. Your body won't even allow you. It's all so stiff. You're just kind of like, oh. The drains, I had 2 drains. I was fortunate. I only had my drains in for 4 days.
That's great.
Yeah, I'm a quick healer, so I'm truly blessed like that. And the more that I take care of myself and the more I'm on this journey, there's other medicines. I've done combo, which is a frog medicine, which is, they call that the vaccine of the jungle. It's just something that it cleans your whole body out, your liver. Yeah. I haven't felt this good. I didn't feel this good in my 20s, sister.
You look amazing too. You really do.
Thanks.
And that's
So,
the thing I think about the healing journey too, is that we're all going to have our own path with that.
mm,
And so in my mind, knowing that I am, 21 days out, something like that.
yeah.
I don't want to set expectations. I do want to have a mindset that thank you, thank you, thank you for the beautiful healing and the speedy recovery.
Right.
However, I don't want to be disappointed in allowing my body to do what it needs to do,
Sure.
both emotionally and physically, to really be able to be proud and embrace this new version of me. So on that, tell me about how you felt after removing your implants.
Okay. So literally the morning after I woke up in recovery, and a lot of the brain fog that I had had for a really long time, gone. And I know that it was gone because, like I said, every time I would go and do plant medicine, that brain fog would go away for a little while, and then I'd come back and it would slowly kind of haze back over. And this time it was different. I woke up and I felt clearer. My eyes were clearer. My vision was a little clearer. I woke up the next morning and there was zero brain fog. I woke up, I was crystal clear. I didn't sleep well, but not because of pain. My energy levels were crazy. My insides were like vibrating, like they were so fucking happy that I did it. They were like, "Yay!" Right? So I got a surge of energy. It was really crazy for like 2 days. And then I kind of was like, oh, okay. And now I know where we're at. Right. And then I rested. My body it was just asking for sleep. Just stay in your bed and rest, because that's all you can do right now. I got a big old orthopedic pillow that was a godsend to help me sleep, because I don't normally sleep on my back. So that was a big help. I got it off of Amazon. It was amazing. That was my friend, and it comes with even the little wedge for your knees. So you're up on this thing like this, and then you got the wedge, so you're not sliding down every 15 minutes, because you can't lift up.
Yeah.
So every time you want to shift up in bed, you actually have to get out of bed, climb back in with your arms like this, So it's something that, you got to be mindful about what you're doing, because you don't want to ruin the work that was just done. And just eat right. The foods that are going to help you heal. Drink the drinks that are going to help you heal. Supplements, huge supplements. I sent you that company Symbiotica that I've been using. The rejuvenation. Oh, that stuff is a game changer, man. And then I'm doing the adrenal one, the B12, a couple of others, the mind. Yeah.
So tell me about I remember when I spoke with you, I think it was the day after your surgery, which I was really impressed that you were sending me a message. But you said that it was like an emotion was literally lifted off your chest. Like there was an emotional tie to that for you as well.
There was a huge emotional tie, because when I put those in, I was in a very bad, volatile relationship with a guy that I was with for 7 years, for a long time. I was not happy. I was not in the relationship for the right reasons. He was a partner in a restaurant that never came to fruition, because I put business and pleasure together. It was just not a good relationship. And sure enough, I allowed someone to tell me that I wasn't enough, and I could look better and that he would pay for it and la la la, and you would look great and you'd feel so much better. And, and then you go to some of the doctors and they're like, oh yeah, da-da-da. And it's almost like they talk you into this confidence boost, and you actually walk out of there and you're like, oh, I'm going to feel so much better. It's this, and to me, it's a lie. It's this lie that we then perpetuate for years as we become this pinup for everybody. It's all fake. It's not real. It's not authentic. It's not who we are. And so for me, just doing that was in direct conflict with my heart. Direct conflict. So right there and then it was going to come back up eventually anyway. One way or another, right? When we don't deal with something, it's always going to come out.
And I suspect I'm going to have a very similar experience.
Yeah.
So.
And it's okay. It's all beautiful. It's all exactly what it's supposed to be. Like everything, all of the choices that we've made along this path, so let us right where we are right now. Look at how happy you are right now. You have 2 beautiful children. You have a king that loves and adores you.
Yes.
The blessing that I got with Dan.
It's amazing.
It was a gift of lifetimes to have him in my life. So,
and honestly, even our past brought us together to even be here right now. Without we may not be here.
We were 2 women that stood out, I think, in that world. I think we were 2 women that were in a very fake and a very broken world, and yet we still tried to remain true to ourselves and our own authenticity in some form or fashion. Yeah. So at least I did. And I think that's why I was connected to you. And that's why, there was always just something. And as I watched you grow, I watched you change, and I watched you fall in love and become a mama, it's been a beautiful path to watch. It really has. You've come a long way, and when you're watching from the outside, it's like watching a butterfly that's coming out of its cocoon. Yeah,
that's what I feel like I'm doing soon too. Another rebirth, and
it's just another shedding.
When you talk about kids, that's really a big thing behind my passion, as well as standing up for what's right and speaking out, speaking the truth, even for my daughter to watch that, because of course at some point she's going to see my scars, and she's going to ask questions, and I want to be really proud.
Well, now instead of us sharing the loop of brokenness with them, and I'm talking about, when I married Dan, I gained 2 beautiful daughters. I gained 3 beautiful grandchildren. One of them is a granddaughter, and she is fierce. She is so connected. She is such an old soul, and she is specifically here to shift this time. I know it in my heart of hearts. And I want to make sure that when they look at these women that are watching us do this, they're seeing this shift happen. They're seeing women fall back in love with themselves again. They're seeing women say, I love every piece of me. These little wrinkles at my eyes, they are from so much laughter in my life. Sometimes I peed myself when I laugh that hard. You know what I mean? I love those lines. I love them. I mean, am I me? I'm not going to stick a needle in those and make them go away, because I want to see them. They show me that I've lived. These little 11s, I don't know if you can see them, they're deep. They're there, man. But you know what? That says that I've been angry. That says that I've fought for things. That says that I've been through the shit, but I'm still here.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
These are the lines that tell our stories of the life we've led. And when we
moment, we are breaking generational things. I mean, really, by falling in love with yourself again and showing the children that are watching us. That's there's no better way to teach.
We've watched little girls. We were the little girls at one time. We've watched little girls of every generation since we've come upon
Yeah.
be told the same lie, that you have to be and look a certain way, that you have to wear your hair a certain way, and you have to wear your makeup this way, and you have to wear makeup, and you have to do this, and you have to do that, and la 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 la, and act like a lady, and la da da da. And you know what I say to that? Fuck all that.
I agree.
That is not who we are. We are queens. We are the bringer of life. That's who we are. That's who the fuck we are. We
And
were divinely given a job that no one else can do. So act accordingly. Act like the queens that we are. It's time. It's finally time for us to rise.
I love it.
I'm going to help every sister that I possibly can. My hands are extended. My girlfriend, Lindsay, that I met a couple of years ago, she's been a godsend in my life. She has literally helped me connect back into my feminine.
It's amazing.
I didn't have softness anymore, Em. From everything I had been through and all the stuff that I had pushed down and never walked through, just kind of bypassed it all. And I'm not dealing with that right now, right? She does a program called the Divine You Method that any woman that has suffered any traumas in their life, sexual traumas, relational traumas, anything, it's a beautiful way to come in and connect back to the feminine and understand that we need ritual. We need love. We need time for ourselves. We need all of that because we cannot pour from an empty bucket.
Well, it's been equally as amazing to watch you as well.
No, thanks. It's been a great journey. It's been a hard journey. It's not, the plant medicine path is not easy. It's literally saying, you're standing up and saying, I'm going to be the one that's going to do the work from my familial line to stop these circles of patterns and past habits. I'm going to burn those neural pathways and create new ones.
Right.
For my son, for my grandchildren to come, for the ones that are here, this is why we choose this. Because it's no longer acceptable to live that way. It's just
Well,
not.
it wasn't your story in the first place. We create our own story.
Sure. I lived more than most by the time I was 45 than some people will do in a lifetime.
I know.
And some of it was good and some of it was bad and some of it caused me pain, but some of it brought me joy.
Yeah.
So I will take every bit of everything all again, every bit of it, because it's who I am. And now I love who I am. I love everything about her. She's a pretty fucking badass chick. I have a heart of gold. I'm loyal to a fault at times, but that's who I am.
Well, I love who you are.
Thank
I
you.
feel
Sister.
honored to share space and call you my friend, and for this to be my first interview. I mean, I couldn't even imagine somebody more just profound in this space. Like, I cherish you.
Thank you, sister. I'm with you every step. You're not alone. No one who is making this choice is alone. They at least have two people that all they got to do is send us a message on Facebook and we're there for them. And where this takes us on this day, 2/22/22, who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows what we can do? But I'm going to do some intentions tonight.
I love
And
it.
we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
So, is there any advice that you would give anybody who's considering removing their implants or considering the possibility of BII?
My first advice is to be gentle and kind with yourself. This is not an easy decision to make, There was a lot of emotional choices that were used to put them in. And so now you're backing out of that, and it's going to take time. We were talking about how I found my doctor. And like I said, I threw it up and I went and saw at the VA, and they actually found a doctor for me. It turned out he has a very small office. There's nothing fancy about it. It's actually kind of ugly. It looks like a regular doctor's office, right? And yeah, he has low overhead. But listen, he did a beautiful job. Yeah, I'm very happy with him. And I literally saw him 1 week, and 2 weeks later, after New Year's, I was getting done. Some of these girls are on wait lists and wait lists. I let Spirit tell me who to go with, and when I saw him on consultation, I was comfortable with him. He was very shy, almost, and very soft spoken, and I was kind of off put by the doctor who did my surgery originally because I asked for a C cup and he took the liberty, which I'm finding happens to a lot of us women. When we go in to have implants, we say we want one thing and they take liberties and put a little extra in because they think that's what we want. No, that's what they want, but okay. So, um, you know, be kind and gentle and know that this is you loving yourself again. If you're coming to this choice, this is you learning to love with you, learning to love you again. Learning to love the person who is your soul, not who is your mind, because there's the difference in the connection.
Yeah.
The two are not the same. If we walk in our lives from our hearts, we see everything with love, compassion, and kindness. When we walk with our minds, we see everything through the ego. Comparison is a straight path to the ego. And you go right into judgment of self, of others. La 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 la. Yeah. So don't judge you. And if it feels like it's getting heavy, call a sister. We're here. That's why we're here. That's why we're doing this.
Yes.
You know, that Facebook page is great, but they don't have a community like this. And women need to talk about it. They need to get this out. They need to be angry that a doctor put more than it didn't because nobody heard that way back when. And that's something you need to process out.
Right.
Walk through it, release it. If you walk around it, it keeps coming back.
That's right. That's beautiful advice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, sister. I am grateful, and thank you also for your service. I know you work a lot with veterans, which is it's a huge thing. It's so needed and valued.
I'm just trying to get a lot of my brothers and sisters to this plant medicine path because it was a game changer for me. Look, I'm grateful that I had the VA. I'm grateful that, I was able to be taken care of. Still am. But unfortunately, the care at the VA is subpar at best when you can get an appointment, and that's not acceptable for my brothers and sisters. So there's another way, and as many as I can shine the light on for them, that's what I'm here for. So if
Thank
you
you.
know any veterans, male, female, doesn't matter, that need help, send them my way.
Absolutely. Will do.
Great.
All right. Well, this is the first of many. And
Yes.
thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
And enjoy the rest of your 2-2 magical day. 222.
Yes. Sister. I just, I know you have this coming up, and I know we'll talk soon, but I just want to lift you in prayer, and Spirit's gonna watch your back, and I call upon Spirit to take care of you, every aspect, every essence of you, every cell of you, the surgeon's hands, the nurses, everybody in that OR, anesthesia, all of them, they will be divinely guided that day, and they will all take care of you. I know this will be true in my heart of hearts. Oh, my sister.
Thank you. That's actually one of the things. I'm not getting anesthesia. They're giving me a cocktail. So
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to tell you that I'm not nervous about that, because just thinking about the possibility of waking up in the middle of my surgery. But
No, they got those down to a science. They really do. They're pretty good now. They did that little, because I usually get very sick from anesthesia. So they did the little patch behind my ear, and it
yeah,
stays on for 3 days. I zero nausea. So
that's
that's the thing. If anybody that you have any history of nausea with anesthesia, tell them you want the little patch behind the ear, and no problems with that.
the same thing that you get for like a cruise or.
No, it's a little different.
Okay.
It's a little different than the Boniva, it's Bonine or Boniva, whatever the heck it is. I forget.
Okay.
One is like a calcium pill, and the other is for motion sickness, but I don't know. But yeah, it's something that when you talk to your anesthesiologist, let them know, you got a history of nausea with anesthesia, and that you want that nice little patch behind your head instead of the Zoloft. Zoloft tastes disgusting. And it's one less medicine that you're having to run through your system. This one is just kind of absorbed.
Okay. Perfect.
My Facebook, Instagram is open for any questions for anybody who's watching.
And can you share your handles?
Yes. So let's see, on Facebook, I am Lola Bond. And then on Instagram, I am Lobond777.
Great.
Yeah.
And we'll put the links in the comments as well.
Sure.
All right. Well, thank you, sister, so much.
Thank you, my love. So good to see you.
And we'll see you soon.
Yep.
Okay.
Ciao.